Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Simran Malik. I'm in grade 9 and go to Georges P. Vanier. My project is called Memories and Testimonies, the Neuroscience of Memory. Witness testimonies are one of the most common ways used to convict people of crimes. However, how useful can they be? Studies have shown from time to time that human memory is not like a recorder where you can just play back any memory clearly. The purpose of this study is to try to look at the accuracy of witness testimonies during a duration of time. To what extent does time affect the correctness of a witness account of an event? Witness testimonies are used all the time in both civil and criminal cases to convict or defend a person. The idea of witness accounts is to provide a first or second-hand account of what actually occurred in an event. There are many examples of cases where a man has been convicted of a crime mostly because of witness testimonies. Though they are used all the time, how reliable can they actually be? Problems in testimonial evidence, especially eyewitness misidentification, have led to many wrongful convictions. One study concluded that about 0.5% of people arrested and charged are wrongfully convicted. Another article estimated that about 8,500 people are wrongfully convicted every year. Though this seems like a small number and it is just an estimate, eyewitness misidentification is one of the most causes of wrongful convictions. I hypothesize that the length of time increases, the amount of correct eyewitness of an event by an individual will decrease compared to when the individual first witnessed the event. I base my hypothesis on the background information I just presented. In order to understand how time could affect a witness testimony, one must realize that a testimony or account comes from memory. Therefore, these accounts are actually recollections of memory. Much of this research done for this topic was based on memory and forgetting. Due to time constraint, I cannot go through all my research. Some topic researched are listed here. I use the following materials listed here. The independent variables were the answers to the questions in the quiz given to the subjects after a period of time. The dependent variables are the correctness of the subject's answers and the variances between the subject's answers from the different period of time, and the controlled variables were as follows. The quiz given and taken at the same time, they all saw the same event, and the subject ages ranged from 14 to 15-year-olds. So the procedure I used to conduct this experiment was I orchestrated a skit. I had a kid visit a class in my school. Beforehand, I made sure the kid knew no one there in class. When the kid arrived, I had him first come in and had him introduce himself as alumni to my teacher and everyone in class. He then talked to the teacher for about 10 minutes about school and mathematics. I made sure he spoke out loudly and that he was talking to everyone. After the skit, I proceeded to provide the test to the 15 test subjects that had seen the event. I made sure no one cheated off another's quiz, and they were given only 15 minutes to answer the questions. The next time I gave the test was a day after the day of the skit. I gave it around the same time and I followed the same procedures. I repeated the same procedure with a week after the second test and then repeated the same procedure with a month after the third test. I then calculated and made a bar graph of the spread of how many people got the questions right for each test, as well as calculated the average percent change of how many people got the questions right from result of test 1 to test 4. I then analyzed the results. These were the questions given and the correct answers for them. I found out after running the experiment that in the first day of the test, pretty much 100% of the questions were answered correctly. One day after test 1, test 2 showed a minor decrease in number of correct answers. Test 3, given a week after test 2, showed a noticeable decrease in the number of correct answers. Only one question maintained a full number of correct answers. Test 4, given a month after test 3, showed not one question had 100% correct answers. And by comparing test 1 and test 4, one can see over time how the number of correct answers decreases. 46.06% is a very significant and important number, as it shows that almost half of what was learned was forgotten. In conclusion, the result of my experiment has supported my hypothesis. I was able to show that as time passed, the subjects' memories of the event were different from what they originally witnessed the event. The correctness of their memory decreased as time went on, decreasing in an average of 46.06%. Various things could have caused this, from memory falsification to just forgetting certain details of the event. One of the biggest things I could have done to improve my experiment was to make my event skit more meaningful. If my event was more meaningful, such as someone getting hurt, there would have been a bigger chance that the event would have stayed in the subject's memories. By seeing how time can alter one's memory or make them forget, we can see how these same effects apply to testimonies. If information can be forgotten or altered at such a rate, then why should we have people testify at trials months after a crime has been committed? My experiment has also made me curious about some other things. First, I would like to understand exactly why our memories get altered and if we can stop that. Also, I would like to look at ways for us to retain our memory. This would be a major help in the criminal justice system as well as practical uses. The field of psychology is a continually growing field with new discoveries every year. There's still so much that we do not know or understand about it. In the future, I hope to continue my research in this field in order to improve our lives and look at other real-world applications. Jazakallah for your time. Assalamu alaikum.